So I'm on the front porch, right? And the front of the garden is full sun. I figure because I'm on the porch and it's covered, it will not be the full sun coming here because it's covered. So it'll be somewhat sheltered. So that's why I'm putting the hostas here and see how they do. And then I share these with you. I got from the clearance section at Lowe's for $2. These are impatient, so they prefer the shade. So these will get 8 to 10 inches tall and 12 to 14 inches wide. So I'm gonna try to just underplant the hostas with them just to give it some color. Hopefully that works. So let me get this all prepped here, and of course I have to clean off the porch again. I think I just made a mess. Then I'll show you what it looks like. Then I'll give you just a quick tour of the front porch and show you what I have going on the front porch here. But let's get these beauties in the pot. So don't be afraid to use hostas. They're great in the pot. In my shade garden, I have a ton of hostas, and I'll take you there when we're done at the front here. And they stay in the pot over the winter and they come back. I do not do anything with hostas in the pot. And also a side note for you, when you put them in the pot, guess what? Our slimy slug snail friends, they're not gonna go through climbing all the way up in the pot. So for me, from my experience, I feel like when you have hostas in the pot, it protects your hosta from getting eaten. Just a side note for you, just from my own experience. But let me get these guys in the pot and let me show you what it looks like after. All right, friends, and then here we have the caladium. This one is Summer Breeze. So pretty, from Monrovia. And then from Proven Winners, we have Heart to Heart Strap Leaf Caladium. Now look at that beauty, friends. And then over here, and these of course they prefer part sun. And then here we have the Heart to Heart Bottle Rocket. So I feel like I'm on a hunt to be collecting all these different ones from Proven Winners. We'll see. So I have 3 here to add to my small collection I have. So these prefer pot sun. So what I'm gonna do, friends, I'm just gonna pot them up in here, okay? So not sure if you saw when I did these, I have African blood lily bulbs in here, and I don't know, I've had them in here for a while and nothing's really happening. Not sure what's going on with them. The bulbs weren't good to begin with, so I'm just gonna take them out, see what's going on, and just use these planters for my caladium because, as I said, nothing's happening in here. So let's get these out. And then we have Magic Gecko Sapphire Caladium. We're gonna pot it up too, and I'll show you what everything looks like after. Look at the roots on here, friends. Oh my goodness. So this is gonna be so easy for me when I bring them in late fall, when winter will arrive here, friends, because they're not hot in my zone. So it's gonna be so easy. I'll just go in the pot here, dig them out, and some people use them as houseplant. I don't do that, and I just get the bulb from in here, make sure it dies back, get the bulb from in here, and then overwinter the bulb as I would do my canna and my elephant air bulbs. So making my life much easier by putting these in planters and not in the ground. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you. Look at the roots in here, so healthy. All right, friends, so I potted up some of these plants, perfect for the shade. So here we have the Black Gecko Sapphire Elephant Air. That's a mouthful, right? It looks so good, and it's doing very well here. You could see it's not getting scorched. Behind here, friends, I would say I have Morning Sun behind here, and you could see it does really well. Look at the patio, okay? Look at all the flowers in here. But over here, for whatever reason, it is part sun, but oh, you know what, there's a tree above me, so this is giving some shade, semi-shade. It's not completely covered, so that's why this is doing well here. And you can also see the hostas. Yes, I have 2 hostas in between here. I told you guys before, I tried killing these things and they just keep coming right back, but it do look nice there. Oh, and here's one over here. There we are. We have one here blooming, and then we have other plants here. So I think somehow, because the sun is not scorching hot behind here, I think that's why the elephant air does very well here. It's part sun, so to speak, right? And then let's see what else we potted up for the shade. All right, friends, and coleus, they're good for shade, but this one, I remember this one said full sun, which I thought was unusual from Monrovia. Anyway, so over here we have the caladium we potted up together from Proven Winners. It's looking so good. Friends, let me show you this. You will not believe. Do you see this big hole in here? Guess what did that? The birds, my friends, did that to my plant. If I did not see that, I would have thought it was the squirrel or something, the birds, okay? But as I always say, friends, guess what? The birds are allowed to make a mess in my garden, not the squirrels. Anyway, but here we have fresh leaf coming out. Look at that. Do you see how beautiful it is? It's absolutely gorgeous. And here we have more coming out there, and it's just loving the spot here. And then come on over. Oh my goodness, friends, you know I just picked string beans yesterday. Look at that, another string bean. I can't believe how this plant is doing great. Look at that, I was just out here harvesting string beans yesterday. Amazing. And let's come on over here. Here we have the other caladiums we did together. Look at this one. We had 99 degrees weather, I think, last week. So they did well, but you could see a little scorchy going on there. Scorchy, so to speak. I'm always making up my words. But it did well, and it's looking so pretty, friends. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. This is a really nice one to have. And then here's the other one. Caladiums are really good container plants to have, especially for your shade garden. Amazing. You could have colors in your shade garden or pot sun. Most of them could take pot sun, right? Morning sun, not the hot blazing evening sun. And then I potted up some of these coleus. Friends, these are what we did from seeds together. I'm not sure if you remember that. Look at them. All from seeds. So I could come on here and just pinch here, and it would even grow more fuller and bushier for me. That's you do with your coleus. You just pinch the top and it grows bigger and fuller for you, and the same with your basil. Just a side note there if you did not know. So if you have your coleus growing lanky, that's the problem. You need to pinch it so it grows bushier for you. And then here is this one in between here. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, friends, and look, remember when I tucked this in here? This is a chick and hen, that plant. Look at it. Love it. That looks so pretty. And then down here is another one I did from seeds. I had extra, and I just tucked them in here. You can't go wrong with coleus. Great plant for the shade garden or containers in general. And these are going to last me all the way into frost, and I'll be getting colors all the way into frost, friends. Yes, love them. And as I said before, there's some elephant ear that you should put in the shade or pot sun, not the scorching sun, because it will burn the leaves. So you have to know which ones you have. If you're not sure, just put them in pot sun, not full sun, because the leaves will scorch for you. All right, friends, and across here I have another coleus I got from, I went to a special. It's a local garden tour where you tour. It was 10 gardens I tour in the area, and they had a plant sale, and the lady gave this me for $1. Yes, $1, friends. So how pretty it looks. I love it. So I just put it in this container. I have it. Absolutely love it. Just love it, friends. Once again, they're really good for the shade. And what I can do here, friends, I could cut this down, propagate all these, and I could get more plants from it, and this will give me color all the way into fall. Yes, friends, very excited about that. And while I have you in here, let me share with you our pineapple lily. Here it is, friends. You know, it's staring at me. You need some camera time, so here you are, pineapple lily. I have a handful of them. I just love them, friends. They're not hardy in my zone, so in the fall season, I would overwinter them inside, like take out the bulb, wrap them up, store them inside downstairs, and then replant them all over again. If you like this, friends, it's a pineapple lily. I got it from tulipworld.com. okay, check them out if you want something different like this in your garden. I think they're hardy from zones 8 and up. I'm in zone 6B, 7A. All right, friends, then I'm gonna take you to the front and show you what else I did with the other shade loving plants. I'm making sure I captured all out here. I think I captured all of them. So let's go to the front porch and I show you what else I did. All right, let's go in the front. friends. All right, friends, welcome to the front. So this is on the front porch here. So this is the hosta I put in here with these impatiens and the creeping Jenny. Just something simple. These pots, this is second year. I got them from Big Lots. I'm so sad Big Lots went out of business. I used to get a lot of good stuff from there. But here's the hosta. Who knows, maybe in the fall if I find a different plant I could put it in there. But I just wanted to do something on the front porch. So this is it, and here's another one. This one is in a larger pot. Let me show you. Do you see that? It's really, really huge. This one is in the larger pot. This one is the medium-sized pot, friends, and this one is huge. And here we have more impatiens in here. Love them. And some creeping Jenny. And when we had a 90-something degree weather, it looked like it scorched the hosta a little, but that's okay. But they're doing well. Look how pretty it looks. So friends, I'm telling you, this is gonna just, the creeping Jenny is just gonna sweep over here by the end of the season. And look how this filled out here already. Look at that. Simpler but beautiful, right? In my opinion. Just simpler, but I just love it. Oh, and friends, I have to take you over here. I have to share this with you really quick. I just remember. So over here, friends, this is my Corabelle garden. I have to share that in another video with you. But look at this. This is so special to me. These are from my mom's garden when I went home. Yes, friends, look at it. I thought nothing was happening with them, and they literally just took off. As I always say to you guys, caladium takes forever to wake up, and when they do, they just take off. So my mom shared with me some of these. So these are our Caribbean caladium from the Caribbean. I'm just being silly, but look at it. I am like so excited. Look at this. I was in shock when I saw all this happening, and look what I did. I just tuck it in on the tree. Look at that right there. I found this, I think it was Facebook or something, when I went to get plants or something. It was like $1, and I'm like, where can I put that? And I put it here. At first I said to myself, this is not a good idea, because the squirrels, right, they climb the tree and they're gonna come here and they're gonna like this coconut coil, whatever you call this material here, right? We call this hucks, coconut hucks. They're gonna love it and they're gonna make a mess. So one day I came out here and I saw one of my caladium bulb was on top there. I'm like, darn it, the squirrels got to it. Guess what I did? I took some used coffee grounds and I sprinkled heavily all the way in there, okay, all the way in there, and that was it. They did not go to it, but I just love it. It's so pretty here, something unexpected. Don't mind the wheelbarrow there, but it looks so pretty and I just love it, right? And I can't believe all the way from the Caribbean these special babies came from. So I'll definitely be overwintering these and do the same thing as I did last year. Oh, and friends, look at this one. So here is one, and you know, this one here was her neighbor. When she was digging them out for me, her neighbor was outside and he had different ones, and he gave me one of his. This one I think belongs to my mom's neighbor in the Caribbean. Yes, this one belongs to him, and then this one and this one, these are from her garden. But look how pretty it looks. I just love it. And friends, while we're talking about shade loving plants, I'm just gonna put my shade garden Woodlands Lane in here with you, and I'm gonna just show you some of my shade plants that are blooming for me. So we all know hosta, right? So we're just gonna skip past the hosta. I love hosta, so I do collect the hosta. You could see I have all different types here. Look at that, just love them. But let's talk about the flower on here. If you did not know, the hummingbirds love hosta flowers, and it's because of this, the color, which is purple, right, and also the funnel shape, whatever there for them. But let's talk about these astilbes. I planted these last year. I got them from Lowe's, St. Louis clearance too. But look at them. So you can put astilbe in your shade garden to give you colors. This bloom for me blue in spring. It's done blooming. This is a bugloss, Siberian bugloss I think it's called. And then we have more hostas. Bleeding Heart already bloomed. Black Stocking Widow, the blooms were like the purple allium, already bloomed, friends. So let's keep going down here. Here we have another astilbe. Look at that, love it. Keep going, and I'm just going past the hosta. And then we have a white astilbe here. You could see already bloomed. And then we have a Boom Chocolata from Proven Winners. This is a geranium. I think the flowers and this will be pink, purplish. I got it on clearance last year and I absolutely love it. Have my eyes on it for more because it's so different, right? A dark chocolate color. And I think that's it. And we have more hosta here. So there's so many plants you can get to give you color. If whether or not you have them in containers in the shade or you have them in full shade. Caladium, that's the number one. Caladium, Coleus, love those plants, amazing for shade. We have Astilbe, as you saw there. A lot of different plants out here. We have Bleeding Heart, and remember friends, they all bloom at different time here. I even had iris in here. Yep, I had Siberian iris here. These were like that yellow brown color. Love the shade area. And also the hosta give you colors. Do you see some people don't like the blooms on them. The blooms, they don't bother me, and they actually smell too. It has a smell in it, friends. Yes. So those are some great shade plants, and also your Heuchera Corbel, which I'll be sharing with you in another video. All right friends, so thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what color plants you put in your shade garden or in containers for the shade area. All right friends, I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves now. Cheers.